This question might be one of the simplest but yet most complicated questions I've ever come across. This structure looks basic as basic, but this question is something else. So I want us to answer this wonderful question from analytical geometry and tell me if you did not learn something. Well, if you want to join my program, the exam focused program, we want to help you prepare for your June exam, your trial exam, as well as your final examination. Ensure that you WhatsApp me on this number to actually join the program. I want to say this to a lot of people. Many people do not want to invest on themselves. Many people do not want to invest on their academics, and many people do not want to invest on their future. I don't want to emphasize that even much more, but I feel it's best if you can choose to spend your money on something that you know is going to be extremely helpful from your future, because when you reach your 20s and you're stuck in life, you don't know what to do, you're going to regret most of the decisions that you've made in life. But let's actually answer this question. I don't want to go to that route. This question is so basic, but yet most complicated. Let's start with the first question. They say M is a point on the line y equals to x plus 1. So they're telling us there is actually a line. So based on this context, we know that this line is increasing because the gradient is positive. So what are they telling us? They say, hey, write B in terms of A. They want us to write B in terms of A. So if we are having a line, right, passing through this point, and this line is defined as y equals to x plus 1, we know that I can say that, well, okay, if I'm having y equals to x plus 1, if my value of y is b, it means that my value of x is a plus 1. So yeah, I've actually wrote b in terms of a, right? Now let's actually look at the second question. The second question says, calculate the coordinates of M. I want you to pause the video and find this question. They want you to calculate the coordinates of M. Here's everything. Pause the video and do this question by yourself. And then I'll pause the video and look at the answer. One of the funniest things I've ever seen. Well, let's look at this, guys. Let's look at this. If you actually construct a line called a radius from the center to the circumference, and again construct another line from the center to the circumference, we call these two lines the radius. And the radius of the circle, they are known to be equal because they are. Let's actually look at this. If we are having this radius r and we are having this radius r, they are actually equal. But what is the equation of a circle? The equation of the circle, it is actually given by x minus a, you square it, plus y minus b, you square it, actually equals to r squared. So this is the same as the equation of the, of the distance. The equation of the distance is also given by this equation. Well, let's look at this. Let's say I draw the equation of the circle, right, using this point. I'm going to say, okay, x is going to be 5, and then I'm going to have minus a, and I'm going to square it, plus. It will be 7 minus b equals to r squared. Well, let's look at something important. Instead of writing b, I can write a plus 1. Can you see it? So I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to have 5 minus a squared plus 7 minus. So instead of writing b, I can write a plus 1. So because of this minus, a will be minus and 1. Oh, a will be minus and 1 will be minus 1. And then you square it, equals to r squared. So if we simplify this, we're going to have 5 minus a squared plus 7 minus 1 is 6 minus a squared equals to r squared. So we were actually doing this looking at the point K. Well, let's now do this looking at the point R. So we're still using the same formula. So I'm going to say, okay, now I'm going to have x of 6 minus a, and then I square it, plus the b, it's going to be 0. This is 0, the value of y is 0, and then I'm going to say b, and then you square it, equals to r squared. So remember, instead of writing b, I can actually write a plus 1. So I'm going to have 6 minus a squared plus minus a minus 1, and then I square it, equals to r squared. If you look at this equation as well as this equation, there's something that they do have in common, and that common thing that they have is they both equals to r squared. So since these two equations, both of them actually equals to r squared, I can actually equate them. So let me just start with this one. I can actually write and say, okay, I'm having 5 minus a squared plus 6 minus a squared equals to, what about this one? I'm having 6 minus a squared plus minus a minus 1 squared. I can just equate it because they both equals to r squared. Now let's look at 6 minus a. You see these two are the same, so I'm just going to cancel them out. They're going to equals to 0. So I'm left with 5 minus a squared equals to minus a minus 1 squared. So I just need to expand this. I know I'm going to have a squared minus 10a plus 25. I've just expanded this. And then on the other end, I'm going to have a squared plus 2a plus 1. So the a squared and the a squared will cancel out, and I'll be having minus 10a minus 2a will be minus 12a equals to, if I take this one to the other side, we'll have 1 minus 25, it will be minus 24. So if I divide both sides, I get the value of a to be 2. It has to be 2. And then the value of b, as you can see, if a is 2, I'm just going to write 2 in here. It means that b is going to be 2 plus 1, and it's just going to be 3. So this is how you were supposed to answer this question. The value of a is 2 and the value of b is 3. So I'm just going to answer it. This is the value of a is 2 and the value of b is going to be 3. I've asked a lot of people this question. You know, very few people were able to recognize how to answer this question. Now let's actually move forward. They say if the coordinates of m are 2 and 3, this is what we find, right? Calculate the length of the radius of the circle. How can we calculate the radius of the circle? How can we do it? Well, it's simple. I'm actually taking a paper, guys. Okay, how can we calculate the radius of the circle? I'm just going to use the straight line, right? By the way, I choose to prefer to use r instead of k because r has 0, so it's much easier. So I'm going to use the equation of a straight line. Is the equation that we were using just right after this video, this question. So I know now that my value of x is 6 and my value of a is minus 2 squared plus my value of y is 0 minus 3 squared equals to r squared. So what do I want to do? I want to put this inside a calculator. It's 6 minus 2 squared plus minus 3 squared. And I find that this is going to equals to 25 equals to r squared. So therefore, the value of r is going to equals to 5. So that's how you find the radius of the circle. So you're just going to put it, okay, well, the radius actually equals to 5. Now, let's look at the next question. The next question say we need to find TR. Let's look at TR. Which one is TR? Oh, this is TR. This is interesting. So this one is TR. How can I find TR? I need to find the coordinates of t first. And how do I find the coordinates of t? If the equation of the circle is given by x minus 2 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals to 25, I just need to find the points where y equals to 0, because we know that it's going to have a value of x and the y of 0. So I'm just going to come to this expression, and wherever this y, I'm just going to put 0. So I'll be left with x minus 2 squared plus 0 minus 3 squared equals to 25. So this is going to give me x minus 2 squared is going to equals to 25 minus 9. So minus 3 squared is going to be 9. I take it to the other side, it's going to be minus 9. So I'm going to have 25 minus 9 equals to 16. So I'm going to have x minus 2 squared equals to 16. And then I'm going to put the square root on both sides. I'll be left with minus 2 equals to plus or minus 4. So let me just take the positive 4 first. Just going to have x minus 2 equals to 4. Now let me take the minus 4. I'll be left with x minus 2 equals to the minus of 4. So if I take this 2 to the other side, I found that x is going to equals to 6. And then if I take this 2 to the other side, I found that x is going to equals to minus 2. So if you can see, x is 6. It is actually this point. X is 6. And that means that the point t is going to be minus 2. So it's just going to be minus 2. So I want us to analyze this question. If moving from 0 to t, it is actually 2 units. This is minus 2. So if you put it in terms of distance, it has to be 2 units. And moving from 0 to r is 6 units. You just need to add 2 and 6 to give you the length of tr. So you find that your length of tr is just going to give you 8 units. Now they say determine the equation of the tangent to the circle at k. Write your answer in terms of y equals to mx plus c. So I'm not going to do this question. We have done this question a lot on exam focus. I'm tired of answering it at this point. Now let's look at the question that interests me. They say a horizontal line is drawn as a tangent to the circle at n, and then we're having these points. Do we have the point n? We do not have the point n, but how do we find this tangent? If my ruler is the tangent, if I move it like this is vertical. So they said horizontal. So horizontal is like this. So if you check the coordinates, they say it is having C and D, where D is minus. So obviously the tangent is actually where my values of y is a negative. So this is where my ruler is. So I can actually say, well, this is the tangent, and we're having this point n equals to C and D. So I can draw this tangent because it is actually horizontal. But there are some few things that we need to do about this tangent. We have talked about this on exam focus, so yeah. We said if a tangent is like this, it means that it has to be parallel to the x-axis. So if it is parallel to the x-axis, it means this is going to be a 90 degrees, right? If it is parallel, it means that in a way, it has to be closer. This point has to be parallel to the second. So it means this is the point, by the way. I've just made a mistake if I draw it in here. This is the point. So it has to be it has to be like this. So it means that even the value of C, it is going to be positive 2, right? If these two are parallel as well, it means that the value of C is also positive. But how do you find the value of D? You use the radius. Well, if moving from this point to this point, it is actually 3 units. Can you see? Moving from 0 to here, according to the value of B, is 3. So this is actually 3. But what is the original value of the radius? The original value of the radius is 5. So it means that this point has to be 2 units. So 3 plus 2 is going to give us 5. So it means that this value of D is minus 2. So the coordinates of n is going to be 2 and minus 2. I've talked about this a lot on exam focus. I'm just lazy to explain, but I've talked about this like a lot on exam focus. I'm just exhausted with it. Now they say write down the equation of the circle n passing through point T. What's the value of T? They are saying us we need to write down the equation of the circle n passing through point T. Oh, this is point T. So it means that we're having a new circle, and this circle is actually passing through point T. So this is going to be our point T. And then this is going to be the value of the new circle, right? So if it is passing through point T, they're trying to tell us that this is our radius. From n to t, it is going to be our radius. That's what they're trying to tell us. From n to t, we are going to find our radius. How do you write the equation of a circle? I'm not going to do this one. You are just going to do it on your own. How do you find the equation of the circle? If you are having a point, the center, and you are having a point, how do you do it?